This is the story of a man who was once hunted by a lion, left for dead, and miraculously reborn as the world's greatest hunter. From the jaws of death to the pinnacle of power, Sergei Kravenov, known as Kraven, transforms his fate into a relentless quest for justice and vengeance. The story begins in the freezing cold of a Russian snowstorm. A convoy of armored vehicles rumbles through the icy wilderness, transporting prisoners to a high-security facility. Inside one of the vehicles, a man sits silently, his sharp eyes scanning the other prisoners. This is Sergei Kravenov, known as Kraven, the Hunter. But Kraven is not a prisoner. He has willingly allowed himself to be captured, all to infiltrate the transport and hunt down a notorious gang leader who operates his criminal empire from behind bars. As the convoy struggles through the storm, Kraven bides his time, his mind focused on his prey. When the convoy finally arrives at the prison, Kraven wastes no time. Using his unparalleled skills in stealth and combat, he tracks down the gang leader. In a brutal and calculated move, Kraven kills the man with a tiger's tooth, a signature of his hunts. With his mission complete, Kraven escapes the prison, showcasing his extraordinary abilities, leaping over walls, climbing sheer surfaces, and sprinting with superhuman agility. He dashes toward a waiting plane and vanishes into the night, leaving chaos in his wake. Kraven's abilities are not natural. They are the result of a mysterious encounter 16 years earlier, a story that begins with two brothers, Sergei, Kraven, and Dmitry, studying at a university. One day, their father arrives to deliver devastating news: their mother has taken her own life. The brothers are shattered, but their father coldly informs them of a family tradition: no one attends the funeral of those who commit suicide. Instead, he insists they go on a hunting trip to the jungle to ease their sorrow. Meanwhile, in a remote jungle village, a young girl named Calypso sits with her grandmother. The old woman teaches Calypso the art of reading destiny cards. Calypso skeptically draws 3 cards, and her grandmother reveals that they foretell the destiny of a boy whom Calypso will one day help. To aid her in this task, the grandmother gives Calypso a bottle of magical water. In the jungle, Sergei and Dmitry accompany their father on the hunt. Their father, a ruthless man, spots a deer and orders Sergei to shoot it, mocking Dmitry for being weak like their mother. Sergei reluctantly obeys, his hands trembling as he pulls the trigger. That night, the brothers sit by the campfire, their anger toward their father boiling over. They whisper about how their father is a criminal, a man who values power and control over family. The next morning, the family ventures deeper into the jungle. Suddenly, they are attacked by a legendary lion named Laser. The lion mauls Sergei, leaving him near death. Just as all seems lost, Calypso, who is exploring the jungle with her parents, stumbles upon the scene. She uses the magical water to revive Sergei, placing a destiny card in his hand before emergency services arrive. Sergei awakens in a hospital, clinically dead for 3 minutes but miraculously alive. His father, unmoved by the ordeal, takes the brothers back to London, where he proudly displays the head of a laser as a trophy. Sergei, however, is furious, accusing his father of senseless killing. That night, Sergei leaves home forever, returning to the jungle. There, Sergei discovers his newfound ability to communicate with and control animals. One day, he encounters a herd of African buffaloes. As they charge toward him, one buffalo stops in front of him, allowing the rest of the herd to pass safely. Sergei realizes he has a unique connection to the animal world. Not long after, Sergei hears the sound of gunshots. He follows the noise and finds 2 hunters killing buffaloes for their horns. Enraged, Sergei exacts brutal revenge, killing the hunters and marking the beginning of his transformation into Kraven, the Hunter. Fast forward to the present. After killing the gang leader in prison, Kraven returns to the jungle. He reflects on his journey, holding the destiny card Calypso gave him years ago. He receives a call from his brother, Dmitry, inviting him to a birthday celebration. Kraven agrees but soon learns of more poachers terrorizing the jungle. He hunts them down, leaving no survivors. Calypso, now a successful lawyer, attends her grandmother's funeral. Kraven tracks her down, revealing that he is the boy she saved years ago. He asks for her help in hunting down a list of criminals. Though initially skeptical, Calypso agrees after researching his claims. Meanwhile, Kraven's enemies are closing in. Rhino, a rival with the ability to harden his skin, seeks to take over the criminal underworld. He sends assassins after Kraven's father, but the old man proves to be a formidable fighter. Dimitri, however, cowers in fear during the attack. Kraven attends Dimitri's birthday in London, where their father pressures him to join the family business. Kraven refuses, calling his father a criminal. Soon after, Rhino kidnaps Dimitri, luring Kraven into a trap. Despite his efforts, Kraven fails to rescue his brother. Calypso provides Kraven with information about Dimitri's location, but it turns out to be a trap set by Rhino and the foreigner. A hypnotic assassin. Kraven barely escapes, warning Calypso to flee to the jungle. In the jungle, Kraven and Calypso are attacked by a leopard, which Kraven subdues. Calypso discovers that Kraven has been studying her grandmother's medicinal herbs, trying to replicate her magic. The final showdown takes place in the jungle. Rhino and the foreigner use Dimitri as bait to lure Kraven into a deadly confrontation. Kraven fights valiantly, but the foreigner poisons him, leaving him unconscious. Just as the foreigner is about to deliver the killing blow, Calypso arrives and saves Kraven with the magical water. Kraven awakens and confronts Rhino in a brutal battle. Using his knowledge of Rhino's weakness, Kraven defeats him. Dimitri, now corrupted by power, refuses to abandon the family business, leaving Kraven disillusioned. In the end, Kraven's father is killed by a bear, and Kraven receives a final gift, a jacket made from the skin of a laser, the lion that changed his life forever. The story concludes with Kraven standing alone, a hunter forever bound to the jungle and his destiny.